is, let me describe a route. A route is as you imagine, a route like a road and paths to lead to wherever they've got to go. But a route can have many rules. Some they can be related or they can be separate rules. But let's go and create a new one. So we're going to create a route which is just moving stock around. So we're going to call this into warehouse transfers maybe. Am I happy with that? I don't know. But I'm gonna live with it for the moment. Let me put that back there. So this is going to affect products. So it's applicable on products, but I'm also going to say it's applicable on all of our warehouses. So you can select it from anywhere. All good. So there are 3 warehouses are in there. Okay, so this is a route. So now I'm going to create the rules that go with this particular route. So the first one I want to do is our let's do our push back to the distribution center. So any of our stores might need to push stock back to our distribution center, and it does that by putting it into an interim location called that transit location. So what we want to do is when something lands in that transit location, we want to immediately create that receipt at the DC, if that makes sense. So we're going to say push to DC, if that makes sense. So this is going to be a push rule because we want it to trigger when the product lands into that transit area and then to immediately push it somewhere else. So when a product arrives in a source location, it's going to use an operation to then go and put it into the destination. So that's what we want to do here. So the operation type, we're going to pick out our receipts because it's going to come into our distribution center, and the source location is going to be our returns area, and then we're going to put whatever we find in there into our stock somewhere. So again, it's the top level. You got the whole hierarchy under there. This just sets out the top level of it, and the guys in the warehouse can go and pick whichever sub-location they deem fit, or it'll abide by the put away rules or whatever you got configured. So don't see this as just being the only location it's going to put it in. That's just really just consider that being the parent location. All right, what else we need in here? Lead time, I won't worry about that. Propagate is good. Propagate just combines them together into a single move if that's relevant and stuff, but I won't get into that at the moment. So let's check this out. So when products arrive in this physical location / into transit - DC returns, which we created earlier, when the products turn up there, it's going to use that receipts to go and create or send that stock back into the warehouse. So it'll create a draft in there, and then the guys will go through, find it, validate it when they put stuff away and all that kind of thing. So that's all good. All right, so that's our first one. That covers that bit. So the next thing we want to do is, what's next? So we've got, the next one's going to be, we've got to go from our transit location into one of our stores. Yeah, so we've got that push rule we're going to do. So I'm going to push to, is this store one? I'm going to call this, probably could pick a better name for this, but anyway, it might maybe transit to store one. Yeah, that's a bit more descriptive. I like that better. And again, this is going to be a push. And now we want it to go into the receiving area of store one. So which is here. Store one receipts. The source location, where do we get it from? It's going to be store one, that transit location. And its destination is somewhere under store one stock. And that's it. So yep, when a product arrives in that physical location, use that to go and put it there. So yep, that makes sense. All right, I'll do our next one, which is pretty much the same. Transit. I'll do that because it looks better. To store 2, and this is a push, and we're going to do receipts for 2. So it stores 2's incoming goods, receiving goods. Source is going to be again store 2, put it in there. So when a product arrives there, use that to put it there. Yep, that makes sense to me. Okay. So I've got that. I'll just do a save on that and make sure we've got it all saved. So that should be ready to go now too. So what we've done here is we've set up our warehouse, we've set up our operations, we've set up our locations. So warehouse and then locations to get all those locations sorted out, and then we used the operations type, which is what the guys will be able to select from when they're doing a move. And then we created the routes to automate the process to take it from the transit location into the wherever it's got to go. So bring this back up again. So to take things from here and into here, we've got a rule that automatically says when you find a product here, put it in here. Well, create the receipt for the guys to then validate. We've got our operations type that takes it from here and puts it into here. And we also set up an operations type to take it from any one of these and put it into here. And by doing so, we've created a location. We can also take stock from store 1 and put it into stores 2 transit area. And because that rule is now set up to automatically create the receipts in the store 2, that will automate that or a large chunk of that process. So the way to think about this, imagine store 2 rings up store 1. Hey, have you got this particular product? Store 2 says, store 1 says yes, got heaps of it. Store 2 says great, can you please send it to me? Store 1 then says okay. What I'll do is I'll then put it on a truck. So you can think in this situation, this transit location is a truck. So they do the push into the transit location, and then that truck delivers it to store 2, and then the guys in store 2 will then receive those goods in, if that makes sense. So, and that's really, it doesn't matter which way you're looking at this. It's whether it's going from the distribution centre through into store 1, or it's going from a return back. It's the same process. It looks complicated, but it's actually not. So, with that all set up, we should be good to go.